is I, and I am so happy you're joining me again. Got some spooky stuff to talk about today. So life is spooky, right? To some more than others. But anyhow, let's start with some coffee though. Got to be ready. Got to have my Java, my caffeine. None of this decaf. Come on now. That's for kids. My coffee is, very strong, like my opinion. And of course, I have some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. All right, we're going to talk about superstitions today. Now, what is superstition? All of us have a little bit of it, even those of us who claim not to be superstitious. It can be in many different areas, but I'll go to Webster's dictionary to give you the first. We'll start with the official stuff, right? The facts. What is a superstition? It's a belief or practice resulting from ignorance, fear of the unknown, trust in magic or chance, or a false conception of causation, whatever that means. Irrational, foolish, not childish. It can be kind of scary, to be honest with you. So I try not to get into that too much. But in many people and cultures have their own superstitions, right? And some of us will say, well, religion is a superstition. Okay, that's your opinion, but in my case, it's not. But I'm not going to get into the gospel here, although I may give you a couple of hints later in the show. We're going to talk about Filipino superstition, okay? They are no more or no less superstitious. Sorry. Superstitious than anybody else. But sometimes it can be kind of humorous, and I'm familiar with it because my wife, of course, Raquel, is from the Philippines, so I know a little bit about this. But it's very interesting. Tells a lot about people and their culture, and it can be very funny. So let's go through some Filipino superstitions with you. Okay, the first one is, and this one is funny, leaving your last bite on the plate. If you're out for dinner with somebody and you're done with your meal, are you done? You're done if you leave one bite left, because superstition says if you clean your plate, you're needy, you're hungry, you need more, you're poor, and you don't, come on now, we all have a little pride. You don't want your guests or your hosts thinking, you're wanting and you're poor and you're hungry all the time. Leave a bite there, and that lets them know that I'm doing okay. Appreciate that. Okay. Number 2 on our list of suspicion, and I've heard this one as well: itchy palms. Now, I didn't know until I looked into it a little further. Raquel always told me if your palm itches, that means you have money coming. Well, yes and no. It depends on which hand it is. Okay, if it is your your right hand, your right palm of your hand itches, that means good money. Your money is coming in. Okay, if your left palm is itchy, make sure you check your bills. Be ready, because money is leaving your pocket soon. All right, so that's number 2 on our list of superstitions, is itchy palms and money. Third, and this one's a little weird. Our list of Filipino superstitions, that is trimming your nails at night. It's usually when I do it. No, don't do that. That's bringing in evil spirits or bad luck or something. So don't trim your nails at night. And fourth, I like this one: singing while you're cooking. A lot of people do that. You do? You ever have relatives, Jude, or you ever see anybody do that?
First I've heard.
Really? Okay, well, all right. But to me, that's a sign of joy, right? And they're enjoying what they're doing. Hey, if you're singing while you're cooking, it's probably going to be pretty good food. If you're not making any noise, that means you're a little nervous about what you're making. I don't sing when I'm cooking, by the way. But Filipino superstition says if you're singing while you're cooking, that's bringing on some bad luck. And it will also mean you'll be single for the rest of your life. So if you like to sing while you're cooking, wait till you're married, then do it. Okay. Number 5, if you go to bed with your hair wet, you'll lose your mind. Okay, that sounds silly, but Why would you go to bed with your hair wet? I don't have much hair left, so I don't know. That one's a little weird, but hey, sometimes there's something to superstitions, right? So those are the first 5 of the Filipino superstitions I want to share with you. The last 5 are all spiritual. Now, if you know or are married to, or you are a Filipino, God is, and Jesus Christ is the center of your life. And chances are, with all due respect to our Protestant brothers and sisters, chances are you're Catholic. And I learned when I met Raquel in the Philippines, 23 years ago, my goodness, it's been that long, she's kept me around. Filipinos are not Catholic. They're Catholic with all capital letters, underlined, exclamation point. They know their stuff, okay? And if you're the Pope, you're going to do your, what? I'm going to the Philippines. I need to read up a little bit and make sure I know what I'm talking about. And speaking of, the Pope has been there many times, different popes. And the largest mass or religious gathering in human history, where? Philippines. It's happened several times. The last time, I think, got to look at my notes here, 8 to 7 million people at the World Youth Day Mass in 1995. 6 to 7 million people for a Mass. Wow. So anyhow, Filipinos very in tune with God and their religious faith. So the last 5 of these 10 Filipino superstitions tend to be spiritual in nature. Number 6, as we go from 10 to 1, sweeping the floor at night will drive away incoming blessings. What? I thought cleanliness was next to godliness. Well, yeah, it is. Just do it during the day. There's something about sweeping the floor at night, to many Filipinos, it's not a good idea. It drives away blessings. So, okay, there's a good reason. Next time Raquel asked me to sweep the floor, I was like, sorry, sweetheart. Yeah, it's nighttime. Can't do that. And I'll end up doing it anyhow. Number 7, as we go from our 7th, I should say, offering food to spirits to keep them out of your home. And I have seen this back in Cebu. I have seen this. I don't understand it, but who am I? What do I know? Okay. Number 8. This one cracks me up. Slippers by the front door will ward off unwelcome spirits. Well, hey, we're good to go. Because if you've ever been to a Filipino house, especially if you go in, maybe not so much here in the States, but if you go in the Philippines, you can't walk through the front door because there's 20 pairs of flip-flops. They're all over the place. And for that matter, I don't know how anybody could tell which one is theirs, but they know. So, flip-flops and shoes and slippers near the front door wards off evil spirits. 9th, hanging up rosaries and garlic to protect from evil. Gotcha. We have rosaries in our house, and I don't know about the garlic. I don't know what that does, but that is one of the superstitions in the Philippines. And last, and this one I don't understand, but I do, but I don't. Avoid getting a wound like you do that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get hurt. It's Friday. Don't want to get hurt on a Friday, especially a Good Friday, because it will never heal. It's Good Friday. I get it. I understand. It's superstition. Is it foolish? Maybe a little bit, but it's many times superstitions are rooted in experience, in beliefs, and in our religion. So, hey, don't just brush it off. It's nonsense. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. So, and again, we all have our little spiritual, but superstitious beliefs. So none of us is immune from that. And speaking of crazy beliefs, I'll leave you with a joke, okay? Do you know where all those books on paranoia are? They're behind you. Or are they? Now, That can become a superstition too. All right, that's it for this edition of Coffee with a Goose. So glad you joined me again. We're keeping track of the Pacquiao saga, and we'll keep you up to date on that. I'm sure there's more news coming. We'll bring you all the latest. All right. And so, what's your superstition? Do you have any? Come on now, be honest. Share it with me. I'd love to get your comments, and we'll respond. All right, Coffee with a Goose. Talk to you guys later.